Let me tell you why spending money on a pretty website is a monstrous waste of time and in no way, shape, or form is going to help you get clients, and what to do instead if you want to get clients into your health business. Hey guys, what's going on? Yuri Elkaim here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. And if you're watching this video, if you're watching this here, it's because you want to get clients into your health business. In this video, I want to walk you through 3 specific principles. And at the end of this video, I'm actually going to share with you the only time I've invested any amount of money into a pretty website. And I'll share exactly what that is and when that was at the end of this video. So keep on watching. All right, so first and foremost, you might be watching this because, listen, you want to get more clients into your business because you understand that if you don't have clients, then revenue is not where you want it to be. And there's nothing more frustrating than doing everything under the sun and nothing works. See, I've been at this for a very long time, and a lot of health practitioners and a lot of business owners in general think that spending a lot of money on a website, and not that they want to spend a lot of money, but it just so ends up happening that they spend more money than they want on a beautiful looking website, they think that that's something that's going to give them more credibility. It's going to enhance their reputation. But the reality is this: with the online world, there's no kind of front door. There's no office that people walk by. The likelihood that your website is going to get found by anyone is close to 0. So right now, if I were to ask you how much traffic are you currently getting to your website, and you don't know the answer to that question, then in no way, shape, or form should you be spending money on getting a nice website done, because no one's going to find it. It's different if you've got a clinic and people walk down the street and they see the sign. It's different. Websites, very different proposition. I'm going to show you what to do instead so you don't waste your time, right? If you want to get more clients because you want to earn more, if you want to impact more people, etc., this is going to show you what to do. Okay, so let's dive into this. And first and foremost, there's really only 2 ways to get clients. And I'm kind of bouncing back and forth here between the cameras, so hopefully you're enjoying this little back and forth. 2 ways to get clients. We've got outbound, which is you proactively reaching out to people. And what that looks like, that can take the form of cold calling, which all of us love to do, right? Not really. So cold calling is an example of outbound lead generation. No one likes doing that. Very few people, at least in the health space, enjoy doing that. So let's just put that to the side for a second. One other way of outbound, which was how we built our business, is advertising. A lot of people don't think of advertising as outbound, but it is, because you are proactively putting a message in front of people. You are actively putting it out there. You're casting a net. If you were going fishing, you're putting out some bait and you're hoping some people will catch on to it. That is essentially outbound lead generation. So the effectiveness of outbound is that it's something that is a little bit more in your control. You have control over that. And if you put money into a website, you're expecting people to land on the website. Well, how do you get people to go there? You need traffic. So we're talking about outbound as being one way of getting people into your world. And I'm going to share with you where to bring those people instead of a nice looking website in just a moment. But outbound is the first way. I believe outbound is probably the smartest way for most business owners to start acquiring clients. And I'll share exactly what we do in just a moment, because it's something, again, you have control over. The second way of getting more clients into your business is through inbound. Inbound is essentially people coming to you. And this is what everyone wants, right? They all want people landing on their social media pages, on their websites, coming in them, into their worlds. And this is where a lot of the content marketing comes in, a lot of the social media marketing comes in. And listen, here's the thing, is that inbound, I believe, it gives you an upper edge. It gives you an upper leg for the longevity of your business. Like, I built my first health business predominantly on content, but it took us about 7 to 8 years for it to gain traction. So I think inbound is great. And when I say we built our previous business, I mean, our blog was getting 1.4 million visitors a month. Our YouTube channel, we built to 300,000 subscribers, but that took a long time. So you have to understand that there's an opportunity cost there to say, okay, if I'm going to put in this time and effort to develop content, which I think is amazing, you should develop content, but your business cannot rely on content alone initially to bring clients in. So inbound content marketing, people coming to your website, coming to your YouTube channel, coming to your podcast, coming to your social media platforms is nice long-term. And when I say long-term, I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 years down the road. So what does that mean? That means that right now, if you're looking to get clients, because most people want clients now as opposed to 5 years from now, the most important thing you got to be thinking about is, do I want the horse and buggy model or do I want the supercar? Because if you want the supercar, you have to understand how to do outbound, because it's going to give you faster lead generation and it's going to give you a higher quantity that you can control. If you go inbound, where you're only putting content out, right? It's going to require a lot of your time and effort, and it's going to happen down the road. Okay, so just understand that. So for instance, this Healthpreneur YouTube channel and podcast doesn't have a lot of traction because we don't need it to, right? We've built this channel for 5 years down the road. I don't care how many subscribers and viewers we get now. What I'm playing for is the future. And that's because our business is good. We have an outbound process called the perfect client pipeline, which brings in 95% of our client base in a very predictable fashion. And I'll talk with you a little bit more about that in just a second. Actually, in case you want to learn more about exactly how that looks, how that works, after this video, click the link at the bottom in the description, and that'll take you over to our free training, our free masterclass that will show you exactly how the perfect client pipeline works and how you can employ one in your business for more clients, more revenue, all that good stuff. And here's the thing, without dropping thousands of dollars on a fancy website that no one's ever going to see. Okay? So that's the first principle, is understanding there's inbound and outbound. Now, with that said, we have to also consider one more thing, which is the following. I call this the 4 M's, and I'm just showing you this on the screen here. You have to understand these 4 M's, and you have to make sure that they are working in your business, because if they're not, then you're likely not going to get the results that you want from your marketing. Okay? So first and foremost, you need to be the master of your subject matter. I am very good at helping business owners grow their business in the health space. I'll blow my own horn here. I think I'm the best, right? Whether or not that's true is irrelevant, but I think it. You should think you're the best as well. Because if you're not the master of your domain, number one, you need to spend more time getting really good at it. And number two, no one's going to pay you money if you're not the best. Okay, the reason I consider myself to be very good at this is not because I did some certification last weekend. It's because I've been in the trenches since 2006. I've built several businesses in the health space online to multiple 7 figures a year. I've built very big teams. I've sold my previous company. I've made all the mistakes. Okay. So I'm sharing this with you from the trenches, not from a book I read, and here's what I learned. Okay? So just like you've gone to school, you've worked with clients, you've done all the hard work. The second thing, or the second M, is once you understand, you are going to be a topic subject matter expert on a specific area, right? Back pain, thyroid health, whatever it is. With that said, you have to select a single target market, because a lot of health professionals can help many people. And this is inherently the curse of our industry, is when you have everyone walking into your clinic, you have zero control over your time, and everyone's a special snowflake, so you don't have a scalable business, because everyone needs their own specific protocol. And that's fine. You can totally do that, or you can not do that. If I were to come to you and actually, if you got into, I don't know, I'm just looking at my windows. If you needed your windows cleaned, would you call a window cleaning company or would you call a general contractor? You would probably call a window cleaning company. Why is that? Because they specialize in cleaning windows. If someone has a thyroid issue, do you think they would rather see a thyroid specialist or a general naturopathic doctor? Nothing wrong with NDs, but if there's an ND who says they specialize in thyroid, most likely going to attract those thyroid patients and those clients. Does that make sense? We are always looking for the best, not the second best. And it's a lot easier to become the best or be the best when you specialize in one specific area. Are you going to alienate most of the market? 1,000%. But who cares? If you look at the most successful businesses on the planet, they specialize. Four Seasons hotels, it's not for everyone, but they're doing pretty darn okay. So your single target market's important. That's going to tie into your level of mastery, right? You're going to be very good in a specific domain. You're going to focus on the single target market. And that's super important because the next M is your message. Your market will only ever respond to anything you put out there. And this even goes for your website. If you have a website that says helping you live your optimal wellness life, gonzo. Blow it up. Just flush the money down the drain. It's not going to happen. I'm serious about this. You have to be very clear about your message and who that message is for. This is why if you're speaking to people with thyroid issues, your messaging needs to be pinpointed to those with thyroid issues. So instead of saying like naturopathic doctor helping you with your health, blow it up. Let's replace that with something like your local thyroid expert, right? Something like that. Like, so people who have the problem know that they're in the right place. And this goes beyond the website. I'm talking about into your creative for your content, your social media posts, your ads, your videos, anything you put out there, anything you say or type is marketing. And the marketing needs to be dialed into the specific market you're speaking to. If it's not, it's going to fall on deaf ears. And the way you stand out in the crowded marketplace, like the health and wellness space, is not by yelling louder. It's by speaking specifically to the people who you need to speak to and help them understand that you understand them. So your messaging is massively important. And the final M is your magic. So your magic is really about what you do. And it's more specifically about how you position and package that, because there's probably a lot of thyroid experts. But how do you position yourself to stand out amongst all of those experts? And this is where, if you don't know how to do this stuff, you're always going to be behind the eight ball. This is why our clients come to us and hire me and my team, because we can help them position what they do from seeming like, oh, I've seen this before, into, wow, that sounds really intriguing and new and different. This sounds like you've got a plan that works. That's the piece that most people miss. Even if they understand, yeah, my single target market is this, and I've got my messaging dialed in, but people aren't converting, it's because the magic is not thought about or dialed in. So I want you to think about these four pillars as the wheels on a car. And if one of these four pieces, let's just say that your magic was non-existent, how effective are you going to be able to drive on a flat tire? Not so much, right? So you need to have these four dialed in. And if any one of these pieces is missing, well, your business is not going to really move quickly, and you're not going to acquire clients because these four pieces are so important, just like the four wheels on your car are important for that. Does that make sense? So those are the four M's. That's the second principle you have to understand if you want to get more clients. Okay, so we've talked about the first thing being inbound and outbound, either one is going to hinge on the four M's, which we just covered. Final piece, the final principle you have to understand in order to get clients without wasting money on a website is learning how to make each client more valuable so that you can easily get more of them. In the marketing world, there's a famous dogma, I think that would be the right term, which says he or she who can spend the most money to acquire a client wins. So let me talk with you about how this works. If I'm running ads on Facebook, which I do, and I spend a tremendous amount of money on it because that's how we've generated our business and built it to, multiple seven figures and beyond, my ability to outspend my competition is what will allow me to continue acquiring clients more so than our competition. And we have clients that have seen our ads for, in some cases, 2 years before they click the button and booked a call with us, for instance. And why that's important is because if you're selling a $97 course, there is no way you can compete with that. Because we don't sell $97 courses, right? Because we have a premium price solution where we work very high touch with our clients. And because of that margin, it allows us to spend more money to acquire a client. Essentially what that means is if you can only spend $50 to acquire a client and I can spend several thousand, you will never outbid me in the marketplace of advertising, whether it's on Facebook or Google or YouTube or anywhere else. So how this applies to you is that the key, like a lot of health professionals and coaches, they just get stuck and they get stuck in one-on-one coaching, right? So they get trading time for money, $50 a session, I'll see you next time. $300 an initial consult, I'll see you whenever I see you next. You can't scale a business like that because if your lifetime value of a client is only a few $100, then you can only spend a little bit less than that to acquire that client. But let's say you brought a client in for an initial consult of $300 and you sold them on a 12-week package that was $3,000, that was just incredible and comprehensive to help them meet their goals. Now the lifetime value, and let's just say the lifetime value in 12 weeks is now $3,300, right? $3,000 plus the initial $300 consultation. Or maybe let's just say we roll it all into one, so $3,000. Your lifetime value now within 12 weeks, so it's not the true lifetime value, 12-week value of a client is $3,000 versus before it was only $300. So if you were to go out and spend money on advertising, you can spend more to acquire clients because you can afford to do so because each client is worth more to you. So whether or not you're running ads, so if you're doing outbound or if you're doing inbound, remember, unless you are going to write all of your own content, inbound requires a tremendous amount of energy. Now, I don't know about you, but you probably are going to get to a point where you don't want to do everything yourself. Maybe you're going to hire a team, social media manager, content writers, etc. They cost money. In my previous business, we had a payroll, just for our editorial team of more than $35,000 a month. So whether I was spending that on ads or on content marketing, I'm still spending money. If the value of your clients is not at a certain level to support that, then you cannot do that. Is this making sense? The goal of your business is to increase, obviously, again, before I even talk about the money, the goal is to, obviously, we know this, is to provide an amazing service and amazing transformation for your clients. That's a given, okay? But I'm saying, with that said, if you can increase the lifetime value of your clients, if you have an initial program for $3,000, what do they do when they're done? Do they just drop off the face of the earth? Or do you have a next level program to move them into? Because now if you have a next level program to move them into, and let's say that's $6,000 for the next 12 months, now the lifetime value of that client's $12,000 instead of just $3,000, which is a lot more powerful than just $300. So when you have more margin, okay, because we're in business to make profit. And if you have an issue with that, you shouldn't be in business because you're in business to make profit and pay yourself and become wealthy. That's the reality. Again, in the service of others, not at the expense of others. Let's be very clear about that. But if your price points are so minimal because you have an issue with pricing, you're never going to be able to build the business you want. And you're not going to be able to attract clients because you don't have the margins to do so, whether it's through advertising or through quote unquote, which is not really quote unquote free traffic, because nothing is free. If you spend 10 hours a week creating content because you think that's free, that's 10 hours of your time. Let's see how long you can keep that up for before you realize those 10 hours can be put elsewhere, maybe more productively, working with clients and generating income, etc. Okay? So all of this to say, the three principles we've talked about here, number one is understand there's two types of traffic, inbound and outbounds. I believe outbound is the best way to go. Inbound is great for long term, and together they're magic. Number two, we talked about the 4 M's, right? You have to master your topic. You have to dial in a single target market. Got to get your messaging dialed in, and you have to create magic with your offers. And finally, it's understanding how to increase the lifetime value of each of your clients so that your business, each individual client in your business is worth more, which allows you to spend more money in ads or in the form of content or hiring people and building a team to build your business to go out and acquire and help more people. Those are the 3 keys to getting more clients. And as I've just shown here, it has nothing to do with a pretty website. As I mentioned at the beginning, the only time that I've actually spent money on a website with Healthpreneur, we've been in business now since 2015, was actually I think it was in 2020. I don't know, end of 2019 or 2020, somewhere in there. We spent a few $1,000s on redesigning and developing our site. It was the only time I've done that in this business. And we've done multiple 7 figures in revenue. I didn't care about that stuff right away because no one's going to find that website initially. In my previous business, which was YuriElkaim.com, again, that website we did redesign twice. Okay, we had 2 redesigns over the space of 13 years. And it definitely wasn't in the first couple of years of my business. So I'm sharing this with you because you can't put the cart before the horse. When you're in business, the number one objective is for you to make money. You cannot make money if you can't get clients, and you can't get clients if people can't find you. It has nothing to do with the website. If you have a nice looking website, cool, down the road. So you might be saying, okay, Yuri, well, where do I send all these people that are coming in now through the stuff you just taught me in this video? Well, that's where you want to click the link below and watch our perfect client pipeline masterclass. I'm going to show you the 4-step process we use with all of our clients, how we've built our business, and in fact, helped our clients generate more than $100 million in collective revenue in their businesses to do just that as well. So if you click the link below, that'll take you over to the Perfect Client Pipeline Masterclass. Watch it today. And if you like what you see, by all means, book a call with us and we can talk about what that might look like in your business. That's all for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, remember to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.